And then, of course, there's paid campaigns. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert in paid. I haven't done it in forever. I just use communities so much and relationship building so much. So usually with paid, I have a different expert work on that kind of stuff. But you've got the usual Google AdWords, Yahoo and Bing, Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Q Promote.
Mm-hmm. So Nichole,
yeah.
Yeah. So because we were talking about the previous one about Product Hunt, so Maddie has a question here. For B2B SaaS startups, does it make sense to spend effort to rank on Product Hunt kind of websites? As for most, they will not get signups from your ideal customer profiles.
So if you're talking about directories, I really don't spend a lot of time submitting to directories. A lot of them are link farms, and I just don't see them having this long-term benefit for SEO. I don't use them myself. You might want to ask somebody who actually does to see if they've been valuable to them, but I haven't heard of anyone having a lot of success with just getting in SaaS directories. Of course, you do want to be on Product Hunt. You do want to be on AngelList and Crunchbase, the major ones like that. But for the smaller ones, I don't spend time submitting to those. I'm not sure if that was the question or.
So
Yeah.
Her question was more about because even in the initial days when we were part of Freshsales, I think we had this question: if does B2B products really make sense on Product Hunt? Because a lot of the ones which are on the top are probably which are ranked number one are mostly B2C, or maybe it's like a yoga app, or maybe like a stand-up app, or right? I mean,
right.
But now I think I actually have noticed a lot of new B2B apps coming forward in Product Hunt. So I think that probably was her question. So your opinion?
Yeah, I don't see a downside to being on a Product Hunt. It's it's an awesome, even if you got one or two people from there, those people can introduce you to more people and so on and so on. And you can learn so much from just a few early adopters. And yeah, I would say still just go for it. It's definitely not a waste of time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we just have one more question because it was about events. So Arun has a question about how to follow up someone post-event with their business card. What's your take on it, Nichole?
So you went to an event and you got their business card. I would just send a genuine email to them and mention that you got their card, and just, don't try to sell them something, but try to get to know them. And whether or not something comes out of that is how it's going to go. But yeah, just write a genuine email to them. Like, it was awesome meeting you. If you ever want to chat sometime again, let's catch up, and just check out what they're working on, maybe talk about that. But yeah, as long as you don't try to do like a hard sell or something like that, I think you'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I think you could just go ahead. We are getting a couple of questions, but I think we'll take it a little later.
Okay. So I was talking about Q Promote, which is a tool that you can submit your content to one at a time, and it will get distributed on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn by other Q users. So it's like a two-way marketplace where on one side you've got people paying to promote their content, and on the other side you've got people who maybe they don't have a lot of time to curate content. So Q helps them do that. And they just released a new product too that I think is kind of like Buffer, but I haven't checked it out yet. But it might be worth checking out. But it's pretty cool for getting your content distributed on Twitter, especially.
So in fact, we did try out Q Promote recently. Daniel's a great guy. So in fact,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened was the only challenge which we were facing was we wanted to know who were the ones who were tweeting about the particular article. So what we did was we actually added our Twitter handle to it so that whenever someone tweeted, we got notified and we were able to go and check who were the people who were tweeting, and we actually were able to go and build interactions around it. So I think Q Promote is actually a pretty interesting platform. We're yet to see, I mean, a lot of readers from there. We just started, but I think it's an interesting platform to explore.
Yeah, so if somebody is sharing your content from Q, instead of saying something like, thanks for the share, start a real conversation with them, and
True.
you have no idea where that can go. You know, they could become your
Yeah.
next client, your next friend.
Mm.
Yeah, you can definitely get, you know, I've used App Mention for that too, and wow, you definitely see it in action when your App Mentioned on
True.
your promotion.
Yeah.
So there's also Zest, which is where, you know, we talked about that I'm leading community growth right now. And Zest is so cool. We are all about human to human moderation. And so each piece of content that gets submitted to Zest, we actually have several people review it before it goes up on the platform, but there's no kind of voting or algorithms or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, does it meet our guidelines? If so, it goes up and it looks like this. And you can click on different tags to have it filter. So it's a lot of fun. You can get a couple hundred clicks through to your articles by getting them on Zest. And we also have Zest Content Boost, which is our paid channel for boosting your content to even more hundreds of clicks. If your content is accepted, again, it has to go through a round of reviews before it gets accepted. So we do have a free and paid version. And if you have any questions about that at all, feel free to email me, Nichole, Nichole, at Zest.is, and I will be happy to help you out. So you've also got Taboola and Outbrain for native advertising, Twitter ads, Snapchat ads, AppSumo, and SaaS Invaders. And SaaS Invaders is also in conjunction with SaaS Community, if any of you have used that. And SaaS Invaders is by my good friend Trevor Hatfield. And what you can do on here is submit deals, kind of like AppSumo. And those deals get tweeted out, emailed out, and there's an add-on for people to be notified when they're on your product page that there's a deal. So you've also got Quora, YouTube, and you can sponsor newsletters. And one tool that I know for doing that is called Upstart. And I know sometimes you'll be subscribed to a newsletter and you'll see, you know, curated content. Maybe there's 10 links and then that were curated, and then maybe one says this was sponsored. And that's pretty much what this is.